So after 6 months, I'm finally going back on the road today. It's my mate Stag dude Dan. He's supposed to be getting married in October, but because of COVID, they've had to push it back to next year now. But we're still going on the Stag do, and that's despite yesterday the government changing their advice on travelling to the Czech Republic. It was on their travel corridors green list until literally 5 o'clock yesterday. It's unbelievable. The day before we went, about 24 hours almost to the minute, it's like they tell us we're not supposed to travel unless it's essential. I think just looking at how people are living in Prague, and I watch a couple of Prague-based YouTubers, the city just looks like it's operating as normal. I'm not too bothered because when we come back, we have to quarantine for 2 weeks. I can work from home, so it's not too bad. A couple of the other lads have had to drop out, but the groom's still going, the best man's still there. So yeah, we're just about to head off to Prague now and head off for the airport now. And hopefully the trip goes smoothly. It'll be a bit of a pain having to quarantine when we get back, but I'm hoping the trip will be worth it. I'm just dead excited to get back on the road. So yeah, let's head off to the airport.
We met at a pub where we gave the stag his first outfit of the trip. He had to change there and then so that his airport experience would be as embarrassing as possible. A couple of days before the trip, I went into the airport to show you around the procedures and protocols in place that are designed to keep passengers and staff safe.
So I thought that as this is my first time travelling since before the pandemic started, first time since February, I'd take you around to the airport, show you a little bit about what the new procedures are like. I actually work here, so it's not too bad. I can actually do it when I'm not with 9 other lads going on a stag do. Thought I'd come in a couple of days earlier and show you some of the stuff. As you can see, you need to wear a mask at all times. When you're in the airport, you can buy some at the vending machines here, and unlike usual, you can't have people just sort of hanging around inside unless they're actually boarding a flight or they work here. So yeah, just make sure you got your mask on at all times, unless you're eating or drinking, or unless you're exempt for a medical reason. Just about to go through security now. Even as staff, we still have to go through. The actual way it works hasn't really changed fundamentally, but the queues are socially distanced and the staff wear PPE equipment. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Here's something you might not know, not all airports have them, some do though. This is like what's called a decompression zone. So it's like an area in between security and the shops where it gives passengers the time to chill out, calm down from all the stress of going through all the security procedures. So some shops are open, like World Duty Free behind me, others are closed, like the cabin bar here, and it's sad to see, but I suppose that's the reality of, you know, trying to deal with COVID-19. Another thing you'll see everywhere is like hygiene stations, so you can keep your hands clean pretty much at all times. The toilets are open as usual. There's a lot more space for like social distancing and stuff. You can order your food at the restaurants contactlessly, so all you need to do is like scan a QR code, order on your phone, pay by your phone, and they bring it to the table for you, so it cuts down that, you know, contact time with people. And then obviously most shops like take contactless payment, some don't take cash, so if I was you, I'd just bring a card to the airport. Don't worry about, you know, getting cash. The occasional ones do, I think Boots and WH Smith here do, but obviously you don't want to be, you know, risking it, getting your duty-free shopping. They don't take cash, and you can't pay for it by card. So just something to, you know, think ahead.
It was finally time to take to the skies, and we were flying to Prague with Ryanair. The flight on the way out was pretty quiet, and we all had half rows to ourselves. We got there pretty late on in the evening, so it was a case of checking into our apartment, dumping our bags and heading straight out for some Czech nightlife. Got back just after 8:30 in the morning, and when I awoke I went to this awesome Italian restaurant on the corner which sorted me right out. I then decided to go for a little afternoon walk to see some of the city's most famous sights.
So I honestly don't know how long this vlog's going to be or anything, but yeah, we had our first night out since lockdown yesterday, like literally not even at home. Can you really go out because none of the nightclubs are open over here. Pretty much everything is operating as normal. You only need masks on the underground. Pretty much anywhere else you can just do what you want really. But yeah, it was so good to just be able to go in a nightclub again, just dance, have a drink, have a good laugh. I think I loved it that much. We were out till like 8:30 this morning. Me and one of the lads got back at like 8:30, so that just shows you like how much we've missed it. And it's just been so good to kind of get back into the swing of things. So even wake up in a new city, just like you can see I'm currently in Prague, just having a little wander, and I've missed this so much. It's so good to be back doing what I love, and just having a good time. Like, I'm so excited for tonight. We're doing pub golf, so we're all dressing up in daft costumes. Hopefully get a few videos and show you what we get up to on that. I don't know how everyone's feeling. I don't really get hangovers, which is kind of good. We'll see how the other lads feel. I know they're suffering a bit more than me. I just get a bit tired if I've not had enough sleep. I mean, I got to bed, like say 8:30 this morning, woke up about 2 o'clock. So yeah, I feel fine. I feel fresh. I feel ready to go. But let's see how the other lads do. Because tonight pub golf, it's who can basically drink the most in the fewest amount of attempts. So it could be a heavy night, but yeah, just great. Just like even the tramp going behind me now in the background, just how class is that? I've just missed this so much. I've travelled every single month for about 50 months, I think it was, since January 2016, before coronavirus came, and then that kind of obviously disrupted my travel plans. And with them changing the travel advisory, yesterday, Thursday, I thought, oh, we're going to be sort of unlucky again, but all the lads could come, well, bar two, and yeah, I'm just absolutely buzzing to be back travelling, to be able to go on nights out and stuff like that. Absolutely class. And I tell you nothing, it's great just like walking past people in the street. Who would have thought? I just miss walking around, no masks on, just walking around like normal. Like if I'd had no recollection for the last 8 months, I would not know anything has really happened here. It's so good, just walking around, people walking past you. Just boss, mate. Just a note on that sort of whole not wearing masks, just walking around, sort of carrying on as usual kind of thing. That's just the rules over here. We're sticking to them. It's not like we just made up our own thing and we're going along with it. So it's all within the rules of the Czech Republic, and yeah, so we feel safe because that's what we're allowed to do here. So yeah.
First up, it was the Charles Bridge. Then I carried on to Old Town Square, which is where you'll find Tin Church and the astronomical clock. We were staying in a 10-bed apartment which had a sick view of the dancing house and the river. And I headed back there for a quick nap before round 2, pub golf.
So like I said, it's Dan's stag do, and this is what he's going to be wearing tonight. We've already seen what he wore yesterday, but this is something special. We're doing pub golf, so that's loosely the theme.
Then we all gathered around for the unveiling of the worst outfit of the century.
Give us a twirl, Dan. Wow. It is, hey, that is so bad. That is literally terrible.
The Saturday night in Prague was absolutely banging. Everywhere was busy and it finally felt like we were just living life once again. On the night we went to some of the city's top clubs, including James Dean, Karlovy Lajny, which is their 5-story club, and Roxy, all of which I recommend going to if you're ever on a night out there. Each and every one is absolutely boss. I ended up winning the pub golf, and I did film a video as I went to take the winning shot, but my mate ruined it by saying something rather inappropriate, so you'll have to make do with a pic of me, the stag, and my prize instead. The next day we were hoping to catch our first game of live football since lockdown, as Sparta Prague were hosting Sigma Olomouc in the league. Although a reduced capacity of fans were allowed inside the stadium, we were unable to get tickets as they had sold out. This was as close as we got, but we decided not to hang around and watch a part of the pitch through a tunnel. Our last big night out was the Sunday night, and it was absolutely dead. There were a few people out, a stark contrast to what you would usually expect on a bank holiday weekend. In fact, in total we saw a hen do and no other stag parties whilst we were there. The quarantine had clearly put people off going. The last day was a football shirt day, and we all wore random shirts, with the stag having this terrible Africa 10 top. We spent the day walking around the city, heading up to Letna Park, then across to Prague Castle.
At Prague Castle now, and when I was here 4 years ago, almost to the day, I think we were about a week earlier in August, this was absolutely rammed, just full of people. We didn't actually go in the cathedral behind me because it was just so busy, the queues were that big, and now there's just no one here. I know obviously it's a Sunday afternoon, but it's just like pretty much wiped out the whole, well, not all the tourism, but even last night when we went on a night out, it was just completely dead. And usually on a Sunday in Prague, especially on a bank holiday weekend, you won't get that, but you know, it is what it is. At least we're able to enjoy it, and I suppose don't have to queue to get in anywhere, which is a plus.
The last night was a chilled one because we didn't want anyone getting ill from a heavy night and not being allowed to fly home. The next afternoon, we checked out of our apartment and got a taxi back to what was a very quiet Prague airport.
We're going headed back now. The trip's been boss. The airport though was so dead. Like, I thought Prague airport would be quite busy because there's less restrictions here. There's more people, more places to fly to from Liverpool, like where we've come from. But it's just like no one here. I think we're the only 8 passengers I've seen until we came to this COVID testing centre behind me. So yeah, it's bizarre. But the stuff's just not open because there's not that many flights going out. Especially, you know, as well when it's like flights to, say, Manchester, where we're heading to. People have got quarantine on arrival, so there'll be even less people coming in, flying out on our flight today than there were coming in. So yeah, I'm just trying to find anywhere that's open now, heading towards the food court and the gates, and we'll see what's what really.
Overall, I felt really safe going on the trip, a lot safer in Prague than I do at home. But once we arrived back, we went straight into a 2-week quarantine, which wasn't the worst, but I could have done without it, and it's not something I want to do after every future trip. If you've got any questions about travelling during COVID, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.